Hello, internet fans, and welcome to 3B Video. I'm your host, Rotten Roger DeMarco, and today we're going to do something a little different because it's Friday the 13th. And if you're new to the channel, Friday the 13th is my franchise. It is my baby. I love Friday the 13th more than anything in the world. So I figured we were going to rank the franchise, but I wanted to offer a little disclaimer at the beginning of this as to avoid any dramatics. This list is not definitive because my tastes with the franchise vary from year to year. I love all of these movies so much that it's very hard for me to put one above the other. This list is incredibly difficult because I don't hate any of the films. So this list is essentially based on each film's watchability for me this year. Just keep in mind that these films are in constant rotation in my house. So let's get into this. This list is going to include the reboot and is also going to include Freddy vs. Jason. So I'm trying to cross the gambit with every film that Jason has been involved in. So coming in at number 12 for me is Friday the 13th Part 3. I know, this is the one where Jason gets his mask, the 3D gimmick, the head squeeze, all the good stuff. But this year I haven't watched this movie a ton. It sort of gets put on the back burner for me for whatever reason. So it is my least watched this year. Coming in at number 11 is the original Friday the 13th Part 1. Not saying that there's anything wrong with this movie by any means, but sometimes, I just want all of the iconic things to fall in place. I want the mask, I want Jason, I want a high body count, I want some nudity, I want all of the stuff that you expect from a Friday the 13th movie. And this has all of those except Jason. So it's down there for me this year. Coming in at number 10, surprisingly for me, is the Friday the 13th reboot. And this movie, I gotta be honest with you, when I saw it in theaters, I don't know whether I had a chip on my shoulder or what it was, but I was angry with this movie. I didn't care a great deal for this movie. And it wasn't until the Blu-ray came out and I picked it up, and then I got to put a couple more viewings, and then for whatever reason it clicked with me. Like, oh, and I don't know why it took so long to resonate with me, but I really like this movie. I just haven't watched it a ton this year. So coming in at number 9 is probably one of the most ultimate popcorn flicks of all time, Freddy vs. Jason. I mean, what more can be said about this? You have the two icons toe-to-toe mixing it up, despite the fact that there's some pretty rough acting and some really painful exposition in this movie. This movie is not meant to be taken seriously. It's not meant to win an Oscar. It's meant to make you shovel popcorn in your face and go, fuck yeah, for an hour and a half, and it does that. So coming in at number 8 is Jason Goes to Hell. I love this movie. This movie gets a bum rap. People get angry, there's not enough Jason, yada yada. But let me tell you something, Meatball Head Jason is the truth. Second of all, this has arguably the best nudity in the franchise. And K&B effects is top notch. The gore in this movie is arguably better than the gore in any other Friday the 13th film. I challenge you to show me a kill better than some of the kills in Jason Goes to Hell. Yes, I know, no Jason upsets people, but I really like this movie. I think that it's funny, I think that it's fast-paced, and I love that it's an homage to The Hidden, even if Adam Marcus didn't know The Hidden existed. So coming in at number 7 is another ultimate popcorn film from the franchise, and that, of course, is Jason X. Good God, are the camps for this movie divided. Once a franchise goes to space, people are done. They're checking out. That's it. They went to space. It's over. But not with Friday the 13th, because Kane Hodder in space, fucking everybody up, is top notch. It's got a high body count, it's got nudity, and we have Uber Jason, who looks like Lord Zed on steroids. Rest in peace, buddy. This movie captures everything you want in a Friday the 13th movie. It's so much fun, and I'll never understand the hate for Jason X. I really won't. So let me know in the comments if you love Jason X as much as I do. Coming in at number 6 is another, I don't want to say hated, another film in the franchise that doesn't get the love it deserves. Friday the 13th Part 5, The New Beginning. Because they pull the rug out from under you. You think, oh my God, I've got Jason and he's so awesome and he's kicking ass. And then they do the old switcheroo and give you the paramedic. And that really bothers some people, but it doesn't bother me, because the thing about Friday the 13th Part 5 that I feel like gets discounted is it's exactly like Friday the 13th Part 1, albeit a lot more sleazy, but it is a total retelling of Friday the 13th Part 1. The grieving parent, upset over the loss of the son because of the actions of said people. And then the grieving parent seeking revenge. It's Friday the 13th Part 1, just with Debbie Sue Voorhees acting. Fucking awesome, guys. So if you've discounted Friday the 13th Part 5 for whatever reason, go back in, watch it with that mindset that you're watching the first Friday the 13th. And maybe you'll have a little bit more appreciation for good old Royale with sleaze. Yeah. So coming in at number 5 is what I like to refer to as the KY Jelly Jason flick, Jason Takes Manhattan. Again, another one of these movies late in the game, late in the franchise. Everyone wanted Jason in Manhattan. They got Jason on a boat for 90% of the movie, and it upset them. But you're missing the most important part of that sentence, is that you got Jason for an hour and a half. Doesn't really matter where you put him, as long as he is doing what he is meant to be doing. And in this movie is no different. He slaughters everyone, and has my favorite kill in the entire franchise in this movie, when he punches Julius's head off on the rooftop. I love that scene. I love this movie. I champion this movie every chance I get. Jason Takes Manhattan is up there for me, folks. It is popcorn as fuck. It is so much fun. I can't say enough good things about it. The good definitely outweighs the bad for me when you're looking for popcorn fun. So coming in at number 4 is Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. Kane Hodder makes his first appearance as Jason, and he takes on Lar Park Lincoln, aka Carrie White, and it's awesome. John Carl Buechler kills it. I wish to God we got an uncut version of this movie, but chances are we're never gonna see that. But what we have is arguably the best design for the Jason Voorhees character. A solid body count. Fun characters, not the best characters in the franchise, but they're fun. And it's even more fun to watch them die. I just really like this movie, and I love the intensity that Kane brings to the character. And I know that the camp is split. Haha! That's funny. When it comes to Kane Hodder, you have people who think that he is the best, and then you have people who think that he is the worst. But he's awesome, and I love watching him do his thing, and I love this movie. So coming in at number 3 is Friday the 13th Part 2. Good old Steve Dash, sackhead Jason, running around with a pitchfork, slitting people's throats with the wrong sides of machetes. This movie is fucking awesome. Awesome. Even if they kill Muffin and then bring Muffin back at the end, unless that was a dream, not really sure. All I know is Friday the 13th Part 2 is fucking amazing. Sweet movie. He kills a handicapped dude. This is when you know Jason doesn't give a shit whether you're about to get laid and you haven't used your legs. He doesn't care. You're done. That's just how it is. I love this movie. So coming in at number 2 for me is Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. Yeah, buddy. This is the MTV Friday the 13th. I don't want to say this is as camp as this franchise gets, because later they went to space, you know? But Tom McLoughlin owns it in this movie. He pays total tribute to the Frankenstein films and all those old school gothic horror films. And we get adult Tommy Jarvis, or adult-ish Tommy Jarvis. Tom Matthews' portrayal as Tommy Jarvis is fan-fucking-tastic. I love the way C.J. Graham plays Jason in this movie. This is when they start showing you Jason more in the daytime. This is when you stop being scared of Jason and you started rooting for Jason. And that's what makes this movie so popcorn and so fun for me. And it's the fastest 90 minutes of your life when you watch this movie. It starts, stacks of bodies, then chain them to the lake. You know, it's so much fun. You know, even though this is a Friday the 13th with zero nudity, it made number 2 on my list because Darcy DeMoss didn't have nudity in her contract. You gotta watch Hard Bodies for that. Yeah, I love Jason Lives. So it's my number 2 this year anyway. Again, my tastes fluctuate. And even though my taste fluctuates with the franchise, there is one constant when it comes to this franchise for me. And that is my number 1 Friday the 13th film of all time. Never changes for me. I just love this one. And that, of course, is Friday the 13th Part 4, The Final Chapter. What can I say about this movie that I haven't said in top 5 lists or in the commentary for this film? Ted White is fucking terrifying. He's running after you. He's trying to kill Corey Feldman, pre-coked up Corey Feldman. He's stabbing people in the backs of their heads. There's black and white projector stag films. There's super sexy aerobics and Fackler from Police Academy getting his head sawed off. There's so much cool shit in this movie. And again, likable, very likable teenage characters that you spend this time with and you enjoy. And then you don't want to see them die. Who would have thought that that's exactly how you're supposed to do these movies? And Frank Zito totally did this one right. I think, in my opinion, this is the last time that Jason was scary. And it is a very definitive end to Jason, which Tom Savini thought, this is it. I created the monster, I'm killing the monster, you know? They didn't pull any stops. They went crazy and fucked him up. I mean, when you see the way that Jason is dispatched in this movie, it's incredible. It's so good. I could rant for hours about how much I love Friday the 13th Part 4. So let me know your official ranking in the comments, because like I said, everyone has different tastes. So you might like your popcorn a little salty or a little, you know, sweet, whatever it is. So your franchise ranking will definitely be different from mine. But let me know in the comments how you rank this franchise. Let me know what you like about them, what you hate about them. Let's talk about Friday the 13th, because we only get so many a year, folks. But I suppose I should probably get going, because after all, there's a lot of movies out there. Somebody's got to watch them. So why not me? Right? Yeah. No way, not tonight. No way.